In the Mind of Mad, we're about to call criminal defense attorney Brad Cohen, formerly of Donald Trump's show, The Apprentice. Mr. Brad Cohen, how are you, sir?
What's going on, my man?
I'm hanging in there. You are now in the Mind of Mad, and I'm happy to have you on the line. What's going on?
Good, everything's been good. Defending everybody in South Florida, doing a great job, getting a lot of high-profile cases, doing a great job for them.
Cool.
We're keeps on spreading, so we're doing well.
Have you found that the show has helped you with your practice?
Yeah, it's always helped. It was like when the show first ended, it was tough because I was a criminal defense attorney for 10 years before I was on the show.
Oh, wow.
So everyone knew me around town as being a criminal defense attorney. Then when they saw me on TV, it was almost tough because then some people who didn't know me wouldn't take me as seriously as, I've been an attorney for 10 years. They thought I was just coming up.
Gotcha.
So it was tough at the beginning. But then after the first months, people understood what was going on, and then it opened up a lot of doors. I met a lot of people. I ended up representing DMX and Vanilla Ice. It put me in contact with those type of people, and then when they got in trouble, they called me first.
Wow, that's interesting. So what do you think it is? Do you think that it's just like a trend that, people that are in the spotlight want to feel like they can relate to other people that are in the spotlight?
I don't know if it's so much that. It's just that you start to move into those circles, and you know better than anybody else. It's like, when you're moving into those right circles and you're meeting the right people, things start to fall into place. And the way you hold yourself, out there, that always helps. So if you're meeting, a Wayne Huizenga, you're meeting a Dennis Rodman, a Scottie Pippen, you're meeting those people, you come to mind when they think of whatever product they need or whatever service they need. All of a sudden it's like, hey, I met a guy the other day that is a criminal defense attorney, or I know someone who does XYZ, and that always helps you. So
yeah.
Because you're in the spotlight, it puts you into those circles those parties where you meet those people, and those social events that you meet those people, and then it just takes off from there.
It's funny that you say that, because I think that there's probably not a day that goes by that I don't use the term out of sight, out of mind. And I always use that in reference to, there's a lot of people that I care for and care about, and I genuinely want to see do good. And there's times where it's not that I ignore them, or I'm hating on them, or I'm not trying to throw them love or work with. Sometimes if I don't talk to those people on a regular basis, when it comes up, the call for a specific service that they might provide, and they're not on the tip of my tongue, I might refer it somewhere else. So I always tell people, I'm like, listen, you're not going to annoy me. Shoot me a little post on my wall on Facebook. Shoot me a message, a text message, say hello. So you're always on the tip of my tongue, because I talk to so many people daily that you never know who's going to need what or know who. And sometimes it's just good to just constantly be in touch with people, to stay in their thoughts.
That's 100% right. And that's what I always respect you whenever I'm getting emails from you, whenever I'm getting something from you, and that's why I called you today, in terms of, an opportunity that could arise in the future. Whenever I get your text, I get your emails, I get, whatever it is, I always, first of all, it always brings a smile on my face, because I always respect the hustle from you.
Thank you.
But other than that, I always, think, if I need something or I need somebody, boom, then I relate to whoever you just shot me an email and I needed someone for something in the future, and I called you up and I said, hey, you interested in this? That's the best way to get business, and people don't understand that. They throw all their money onto advertising, commercials, and, being in a magazine, and there's nothing like one-on-one contact.
100%.
So absolutely, you go to these charity events, you go to, different outings, go to different kind of sporting events, all these things that you're going to meet these people that eventually may shoot you business. May not be tomorrow, may not be the next day.
Yep.
You stay in contact with them and you build a rapport with them.
Yep.
That's better than any ad you can do.
So based on that, I want to say that with the philosophy that you have, right, and your reputation in the business, the platform that the show offered you, all it did was kind of put you in the light to almost make people want to have access with you. Like, oh, there's Brad from the show. And then when they meet you, the same way I did, you have such a cool presence and a vibe, and you're just a cool down ass guy that now you're like everyone's favorite, and everybody knows somebody that's gonna know somebody that gets in trouble. So like even me, like I have someone that you might be able to help. And I'm like, okay, let me chop it up with this person, see what her situation is, her budget, whatever, because I don't want to waste your time. But I'm gonna think about how I might be able to refer something to you because of your philosophy and the way that you carry yourself and how you're social and you make people feel comfortable. And you're right, man. A lot of people spend a lot of money on advertising. They even spend, how about this? I'll take it even a step further. They spend countless money on their education and they don't know how to socially apply their knowledge, and they don't get the most of it.
Well, that's always like it is. And my grandfather used to have a saying that, school doesn't make the man. It's up to you what to do. My grandfather, dropped out of school in 6th grade and he was still successful because school does not perfect anything that you don't already have. You need something and it just adds to it.
Exactly.
It's like people with a lot of money. My grandfather used to say, money only magnifies what's already there. If you're a jackass, money's just going to make you a bigger jackass.
Big time.
If you're a great guy, you're going to become more charitable and just a better guy. It magnifies whatever's there. It's the same thing with school. If you don't know how to apply it, if you don't know how to use what you learned in school to go further in your career, just having a law degree isn't going to make you a successful lawyer.
Yeah.
You got to know how to apply it.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's amazing because without us ever getting in deep on a conversation like this, we definitely share a lot of the same philosophies. So it's like our energy kind of drew each other to one another. But now that we're talking and chopping it up, it's like, okay, it's not just the energy. Like, wow, we kind of see things on the same level, and you do what you do in your lane and I do what I do in my lane, but we still can apply the same philosophies to our life and our business and even our relationships, which is our life and our business, and it can create a level of success, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why whenever I get your emails, I always read something in there that I relate to, and it's just one of those things. And it's the same thing, that story you told a little while ago about, the girl who spent more than she should have on a dress or on some shoes, and that led to something else, which led to something else.
Wow.
That's how I always look at it.
You were paying attention, man. I love it. You were paying attention. Great.
That was a great story because, it's just like, I remember when I was like 19, 20, we were going someplace. I don't even remember where we were going on vacation. And they said, you want to upgrade to first class? It's going to cost another $300. It was like my last 300. But I said, you know what? I'm upgrading to first class. Totally couldn't afford it. Upgraded to first class.
Yeah.
Made huge connections. Ended up getting an internship for the summer from a guy that we met. I mean, it was just like, those are the stories that are the great stories.
Wow.
Those type of things put you into those circles. That's what I keep telling everybody. You got to migrate towards successful people to become successful.
Surround yourself by the best at whatever you want to win in, and you will naturally become the best.
Always. That's always. And if you look at everyone that's successful, that's what they do.
My grandmother would always tell me, you are the company you keep, and I find myself telling that to people on a regular basis. I say it mostly when it comes to girls' interaction with other girls. Like, there's some quality girls, but if they're hanging out with kind of shady characters, the rest of the world is going to view them that way, regardless of how pure and amazing their heart may be. Brad, you are in the mind of Mad, man. I'll be talking to you soon, buddy. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mike. Bye.